Ukrainian troops have captured a Russian soldier and an operational radio station belonging to Russian army in an industrial zone in the Pokrovsk sector of the eastern front line. The operation was carried out by the 3rd Separate Special Purpose Regiment of the Ukrainian Armed Forces that cleared the industrial zone in Pokrovsk in Donetsk region after receiving information that a Russian sabotage reconnaissance group infiltrated one of such sites. Ukrainian special forces received the task to conduct reconnaissance and clear the building. Video footage released in social media shows the moment of the capture of the Russian soldier in the area. The captive asked Ukrainian fighters not to kill him and told them that he did not want to fight. "If you behave well, everything will be great," responded one of Ukrainian fighters. During the operation, Ukrainian soldiers also seized a radio, which turned out to be operational. It has been reported that the intelligence provided by the Russian captive and the radio interception enabled an increase in situational awareness and led to even greater losses for the Russian troops. Pokrovsk has been the focal point of fighting, with Ukrainian forces working to repel the slow by consistent Russian advances toward the city to stop them from pushing further into Dnipropetrovsk region. Ukrainian fighters have been continuing to hold their positions through counteroffensives, drone strikes, and defensive maneuvers, despite Russia's relentless attacks, though territorial gains remain limited.
Может, гранату?
Вылазь на хлопучий, блядь! Руки, чтоб я бачил! Зброя тебе! Вылазь! На меня иди!
Ну трогай, ничего. На колени. Вставай на колени. Руки перед собой. Руки перед собой держи. Не будеш сидіти, будеш живий.
Я не хочу воевать.
Ну не хочеш так сидіти, так спокійно. Будеш щось чудити, будеш жити.
Пожалуйста, не убивайте.
Будеш себе.
Сколько это ну-ка, сколько сидел?
Я 2 года. За кражу. Время сюда. Давай, пошли.
Идем.
Я побуду. Ходи. Сідай.
Снимай прям броник, у него не будет нужно 12.
Радейка. Ну-ка, дай сюда радейку. Подожди, мене включить його. Ви прийшли до мене додому.
Я не хотел воевать. Все.
Скажеш, ось, скажи йому дякую.
Rare T-54 and T-55 tanks, mass-produced from 1948 to 1979, have reappeared in Russian frontline casualty statistics. This may indicate a desire by Russians to conserve their newer vehicles, sacrificing older ones. This was reported on the social network X by open-source intelligence analyst Richard Variker. According to his calculations, over the past 3 months, the Russians have lost a total of 88 tanks, 22 of which were of an unspecified type. Of the remaining 66 tanks, 4 were T-54 and 55s. While this is a small number in comparison to the overall loss, it is still a significant increase, as the Russians have lost only 15 such vehicles since the beginning of the war. Vareker dismisses the idea that these tanks could have been used as indirect fire artillery. Firstly, their gun elevation is too low, limiting their firing range. Secondly, these tanks have a relatively weak 100mm caliber gun, making it less than ideal for artillery. Thirdly, these tanks are too old, so their accuracy at significant distances would be terrible. The analyst noted that Russia recently used T-54 and T-55 tanks to train new tank crews at tank schools, which freed up new tanks for frontline use. However, Vareker suggests that approach has now been reversed. We may now be seeing an increase in T-54 and 55 losses at the front, as Russia has replaced them deploying modern tanks to schools to preserve them, and sending the older ones to the battlefield, where their loss is less significant, the analyst suggests. Autumn rains are forcing Russian occupiers to switch from light vehicles to tracked armor. This will impact the pace of the Russian offensive, especially in winter, writes military observer Alexander Kovalenko on his Telegram channel. The rainy season in the war zone will force more and more Russian occupiers to switch from light vehicles to mechanized combat vehicles. The Goose. You can't storm the front lines on motorcycles, electric scooters, or on foot, like you could in the summer, he writes. Kovalenko emphasizes that the transition to tracked vehicles occurs not only during assault operations, but also in matters of logistics. The situation won't improve in winter. This all suggests that the Russian occupiers will slow down their offensive, even stagnate in certain areas, and any attempt to intensify it will lead to increased losses of equipment and personnel, the analyst states. As reported, since the beginning of 2025, Russia's losses on the front have amounted to approximately 100,000 killed. Meanwhile, the scale of advances has remained as minimal as in previous years. According to analysts, this year the ratio of losses between the Ukrainian armed forces and the Russian army has been at least 1 to 5, if not more.